My previous video about Christian Narcissists has had a lot of views over the last 2 years. As of today, over 28,000 to be exact. In the comments, I noticed that people were confused by the word Christian narcissist, and a lot of comments said that that was an oxymoron. Honestly, I don't disagree with them. So today, I'm going to explain a little more and then share some signs that you might look for if you think you might be married to a narcissist who calls themselves a Christian. But first, hi, I'm Jen Grice, author of the book You Can Survive Divorce. I'm a divorce mentor and empowerment coach, guiding women to survive their divorce and become stronger after. You can find out more about my ministry, my divorce coaching for women, and my book at jengrice.com. I'm not going to purposely repeat everything I said in that other video. You can check it out and watch it for yourself about Christian narcissists, but I want to make something clear. Most times, a narcissist doesn't have a heart for God. They're not looking to do what God would want them to do. That's because they're mostly living for themselves, for admiration and supply, as many people call it. They're basically trying to look good in front of others instead of be a good person. As I stated in another video, parents who raise narcissists do so because they focus on the success, achievements, and status of the child, missing the opportunity to develop the child's character and personality, and for them to have a servant heart, being kind to other people. I also believe that a narcissist will use the word Christian or call themselves that to hide it in plain sight in our churches, in our community. They pretend to be a Christian while really being a narcissist in disguise. If I didn't explain that in that video, that's what I really meant. And I know people knew that at the time when I recorded the video. Now I just go a little more in depth explaining things for the people who don't know as well. A lot of times women come to me and they don't even know that they're being abused, or they're looking for the signs that they may be married to a narcissist. So today I'm going to share with you 5 signs that you may be married to a narcissist who is masquerading as a Christian. Number 1, the narcissist who's very charismatic while lacking integrity pursues fornication and or pornography pictures outside of marriage. Oftentimes, he's really coercive and manipulative, convincing his victims that God would approve and even applaud premarital sex, adultery, or pornographic images. They are not above misquoting or misrepresenting scripture to get what they want. Number 2. The narcissist is selfish and self-centered, which is not Christ-like at all. So all of their acts of service are self-motivated, meaning he gets something out of the deal when he serves others. And he serves himself while looking like a servant-hearted person. If you look at what he does for others, trace it back to what he's getting out of it, even if it's just admiration and applause, you'll see that he's really doing everything for himself. Number 3, also being selfish and self-centered, the narcissist is able to get you to turn your focus away from God and onto them. You end up worshiping your husband or wife, I only coach women, while your life's focus is no longer doing God's will, but doing what your husband wants, needs, and demands through manipulative tactics. I could really relate to the story that Lundy Bancroft shared in his book, Why Does He Do That? In the Minds of Angry and Controlling Men. I'll leave a link to that book below. I just will never forget it because I've experienced it in my own life, so I know that it happens. In the book, Mr. Bancroft told the story of a married couple who had a few children. One day, they were going to a family birthday party, and everyone was getting ready to go and not wanting to be late. But the husband was doing things and working on his car, and then sat down to read the newspaper when it was really time to go. In response, while lacking boundaries, the wife started asking her husband to hurry up and get ready. Side note, boundaries with this type of person would have been, we're leaving at such and such a time, and if you want to go, be ready. If not, we'll meet you there. And then following through too. But I've totally handled things the wrong way myself while married, so no shade here. She started pressuring him, nagging him, as men call it, letting him know she was getting upset, that he wasn't getting ready and she thought he was playing around, and that they needed to leave, and that they were going to be late if he didn't get going. Then his reaction to her request was to say something nasty and abusive to her, which of course hurt her feelings, and in front of her children as well. She then walked away to a room crying. Once he was ready to go to the party, or maybe before that, the husband told the kids that mom was holding everyone up with her over-emotional behavior and unnecessary crying, which in turn meant the kids were now mad at her. I'm mostly paraphrasing here, so a few details may be off, but you get the point. He started this by purposely taking his time and reading the paper, knowing that it was time to get ready to go to the party as a family. His manipulation was the problem, not her reaction to it. Oftentimes, a narcissist is able to stay calm while we are out of control and seemingly over-emotional, meaning we look crazy. But I'll get more into that in another video. He continued to abuse at the party, making his wife look bad to other people. The smear campaign, being inappropriate, all while getting all the attention on himself as the good guy. She was the bad guy. That, my friend, is a narcissist getting a supply, and he could do that at church or church events and get the whole church involved in thinking that there's something wrong with you. I've heard women say to me that the narcissist got the whole church praying for her because he was thinking about putting her into a psychiatric treatment facility for her behavior. When it came down to his manipulation, that was the problem. Number 4, a narcissist is unable to take any sort of constructive criticism. A gentle-hearted Christ follower is open-minded and ready to receive instruction, or at least to hear wisdom, like we read all throughout the book of Proverbs. But the narcissist is the guy who turns away from wisdom. They can't hear it or receive it. That's because they already know it all. They're superior to their wife or anyone else in the church, and anyone else they see as lowly or not as important as them. You know, they use people that are above them as a way to climb up to that level themselves. Number 5, narcissists are controlling even while making their wife look controlling or act controlling in the process of raising a family together. That's the manipulation I talked about earlier. Narcissists create an environment that is unhealthy, hostile, and toxic. That toxicity often directs the home environment. They react, so you react, so the children react. It becomes normal around the house and how you all behave. And the only way to break that cycle is to get a divorce. Ladies, I understand it doesn't end after divorce, and I've been doing this for well over 5 years, so I know. But you can become more peaceful after divorcing a narcissist, even one who calls himself a Christian, by realizing you can become emotionally healthy, you can separate from the narcissist emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and all the drama that surrounds them, and live a peaceful life after erecting boundaries to protect that peace. I coach women every week through this process. So to wrap this up, is there a such thing as a Christian narcissist? Probably not. A narcissist more than likely doesn't love Jesus and doesn't have a heart to do good with their time here on earth, because he or she is focused on themselves and their image. You can't have the image of Christ if your image is yourself. If you need help navigating this experience and becoming stronger, you can purchase a consult on my website at jengrice.com/consult. If you sign up for emails, I'll even send you a coupon code to save a little money. I hope I empowered you in some way today. Be sure to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss the new videos when they're uploaded. I hope to see you in the next video. Be well and God bless.